This is a great comment, and it's said very well. And I think that's what is happening with the media, and I think they're running with this. I'm not a realtor, so I'm giving you my insight just being a lender. My wife and I own long-term rental properties. We own short-term rental properties. We do property flips and renovations throughout the year. So I have my hands in real estate in many different aspects of it. And I have a lot of friends who are realtors, and I get their input as well. And I'm working through all this. So this is well said, right? So somebody making $30,000 to sell a house, first off, it's not one person. That would be two companies, okay? Because most realtors don't own the company that they work for. So if one realtor is making $15,000, which most realtors aren't working for 3%, they're usually listing the house for 2 or 2.5%, and then the other side is 2 or 2.5%. So we're really talking about 5% here, not 6. 6 used to be a thing. It's already gone down to 5 on the most part. And there's even companies out there that charge way less than that. But you have to realize when you're paying both sides of the transaction, the listing agent who is listing your house has to pay sometimes for staging. They have to pay for pictures. They have to put the advertising out there. So not every market is like it is today, where you can go online, find a house and buy it and be done with it. Sometimes in recent years, there have been 15 houses in your neighborhood for sale, and that realtor, that listing agent, had to go out and spend lots and lots of money to get you to even show up at the front door to possibly even be interested in buying the house. And I think that's what people are forgetting, because we're in such a weird market right now that it's not always like this, and it's not going to always be like this. So if we change laws that make it impossible for people to buy a house, even because the market is in such a weird time right now, when things change, it's going to be really, really hard. For example, the $500,000 house that you're mentioning here, a home buyer has to put at least 3% down if they're a first-time buyer, 3.5% down if they're doing FHA, and 5% down if they're not a first-time home buyer. So if you take 3% of 500,000, that's 15,000. You got about 15,000 in closing costs, depending on what state you live in. The first-time buyer has to come up with $30,000 to buy a house. Now, if the person selling the house is no longer paying an agent to help that buyer buy their first house, because remember, first-time home buyers think they know some stuff, but there's a lot of mistakes that you can make. You can make mistakes that cost you your financial freedom and future the rest of your life. I mean, you could potentially do something that you find yourself in court, and you could owe thousands, if not tens or 20, $30,000